So, had a pretty difficult decision to make. It was either mow for the third time this week or get my next round of fertilizer on the yard before all of this happened. It's getting intense. One good thing about the rain is I can see an issue I'm gonna have to fix. We got a nice little river going through the front yard here. So yeah, oh my gosh, it's picking up. All right, coming down pretty good. So here's what I did. So yeah, I decided to spray out my next application of 1801 GreenePunch. You know, this one. 1801 GreenePunch. Let's talk about it. It's good for a variety of turf grasses, both cool and warm season, and I'll dive into that further here in a little bit. But what it's engineered for is to give a quick green up response and to maintain a color consistency for about 6 to 8 weeks. So here's the analysis on it. It's 18% nitrogen, and that's gonna break down into 14% urea nitrogen and 4% ammonia. You have 1% soluble potash, which is your K, 1% sulfur, and you've got 1.5% iron. You've also got your humic acid sprinkled in there at 5%, and as a growth stimulant, you've got 1% cold water kelp. And because of that humic acid in the kelp that's sprinkled in there, you're going to encourage a strong root mass growth to go deep into the soil. That's also gonna stimulate soil activity so that you can sustain fertility for a lot longer. Note to all my lawn care DIY brothers and sisters from other misters, 1801 GreenePunch is great for all lawns. But during periods of drought stress, it's not recommended for lawns that are not irrigated. So if you don't have a sprinkler system or if you don't have a way of dragging a hose out to water it in, you got drought going on, not recommended. Application rates and instructions for both cool and warm season lawns. Now, before I dive into this, remember, if you're ever in doubt, print the PDF out. Go to greencountyfert.com/DIY, scroll down to the application instructions section of that page, go to the specific applications for both warm and cool season grasses on 1801 GreenePunch. You can print those out, download them, save them to your iPad, whatever you want to do with them. Use that as your guide. For either one, cool or warm season, first thing to note, we recommend a 20-to-1 dilution on 1801. So 20 ounces of product for every 1 ounce of 1801. And for that reason alone, that's why we recommend using the hose-in sprayer. That hose-in sprayer, the Ortho Dial spray back there, that gives you 2 gallons a minute. So you're able to output more water with the product than you would with either a backpack sprayer or a hand pump sprayer. I just did a video on that. If you're having trouble with that or if you want to know how to use it, click the link in the description below or the eye icon at the top of the screen where I go more in depth on the Ortho Dial spray hose-in sprayer. So just to put that into perspective, let's do some math here. So 20-to-1, 20 ounces of water for every 1 ounce of product. If we take 20 and times that by 16, which is kind of a base mid-rate for the 1801, that gives us 320 ounces of water that we need for that 16 ounces of product. Now what's 320? If we divide that by 128, which is 1 gallon, that gives us 2.5 gallons. So for every 16 ounces of 1801, we need 2.5 gallons of water. So hopefully now you can see why using a 4-gallon backpack sprayer, just a 2-gallon sprayer, hand pump sprayer, that's why we don't really recommend it, and the hose end is the best because you can put 32 ounces of concentrate in that, and with that 2 gallons per minute that's coming out, you've got a nice good dilution rate of water to concentrate. So again, that's why we recommend using the Ortho Dial spray hose and sprayer, especially when putting out the 1801. Let's go into app rates and instructions for cool season lawns first, because let's be honest, you guys don't get enough love at all. So you're up first. So this is gonna be your bluegrasses, your fescues, your ryegrasses. What we recommend for cool season folks is to put down about 1.4 to 2.2 pounds per 1,000 square feet during the growing season. Now that being said, I don't want you to put down more than 1/4 pound of N per 1,000 square feet in any single application. I want you to do these applications in about 4 to 6 week intervals. So starting off in early spring, we're gonna go about 20 to 24 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Going into late spring, you're gonna bump that rate down to about 18 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Both early and late summer, we're gonna bring it all the way down to 12 ounces per 1,000 square feet, because that's when things are starting to warm up and you don't want to be putting a whole lot of nitrogen on the turf during that time. Both early and late summer, we're gonna bring it all the way down to 12 ounces per 1,000 because our temperatures are starting to climb. We wanna bring our nitrogen rates down to compensate for that. Reason for that, higher temperatures, more nitrogen on the ground will result in burning the lawn or, yellowing it out. So if you put way too much nitrogen on the lawn, it's just gonna turn it that nice golden yellow color, and you can risk some damage. So that's why we bring it all the way down to 12 ounces per 1,000 square feet on the 1801 during the summer months. Going into early fall, we're gonna bring it back up to 18 ounces per 1,000. And late fall, we're gonna go all the way back up to anywhere between 20 and 24 ounces per 1,000 square feet. For you cool season folks, during spring and fall, when your soil temperatures are about 50 to 65 degrees, this is when you're best able to add root mass growth and you're able to store and process nitrogen a whole lot better. During summer months, when your daytime temps are getting above 85 and your nighttime temps are in the 70s, metabolic processes start to slow down. This is also gonna cause soil temperatures to climb, which is going to cause plants to just shed its roots. Extended amount of heat and drought stress can actually cause cool season grasses to go into a state of dormancy to just kind of help protect itself. And that's why we recommend that you reduce the amount of nitrogen that you're putting down during the summer months for all you cool season people. On to warm season grasses. This is gonna be your Bermudas, your St. Augustine, your Zoysia, and your Centipede. Let's start off with Bermuda and St. Augustine. For you folks, we recommend putting out about 2 to 2.6 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet during the growing season. Let's start off in late winter going into early spring. Both late winter and early spring, you're gonna do 16 ounces per 1,000 square feet. For late spring, early summer, late summer, and early fall, we're gonna do 18 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Then in late fall, early winter, we're gonna bump it back down to 16 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Again, for Bermuda and St. Augustine folks, we do not recommend doing a single application of 1801 GreenePunch that's going to exceed 1/2 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. Your application intervals, again, we recommend to do 4 to 6 weeks in between the different apps. Zoysia and Centipede, let's go over the blueprint that you're gonna use for those turf grasses. It's gonna be a little bit different than the Bermuda and the St. Augustine. Late winter, 16 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Early spring, you're gonna go down to 12 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Late spring all the way up to early fall, you're gonna use anywhere between 6 to 9 ounces per 1,000 square feet. And once you start getting into late fall, you're gonna bump that back up to 12 ounces per 1,000 square feet. And once you're in early winter, you're gonna bump it all the way back up to 16 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So a little edumacation on your warm season grasses. In the summer months when your soil temperatures are above 65 degrees, that's when you're able to add root mass and able to store and process nitrogen a whole lot better than you would any other time of the year. Your tropical and your subtropical zones, your warm season grasses tend to not enter a state of dormancy. In your transition zones though, your Bermudas and your St. Augustines can go into winter dormancy. That's why you see a lot of lawns in Georgia, especially northern Georgia, the Bermuda just it goes brown because it's going into that winter dormancy. It's hibernating. But something that I want to point out here is just because your turf is going into winter dormancy, it does not mean that your soil is. I go into depth on that in the how to use Humic 12 in the off season. So click the link again in the description box below or the icon at the top of the screen and go check out that video. But again, just because the turf is going into winter dormancy does not mean that the soil is going to sleep as well. There's still activity going on underneath there, so we want to try and encourage that and help it along as much as we can. Right out of the gate, when you're using 1801, you want to make sure that you shake it well. Get all those goodies mixed up in there. So watering in requirements with 1801 GreenePunch, let's touch on that. If you're using the hose end sprayer and you've got a setting that allows for you to have the 20:1 dilution rate, there's no need to water it in. Now, if you're just uncertain or you used a setting that does not allow for a 20:1 dilution rate with the hose end sprayer, I recommend watering that application in for about 5 to 15 minutes. Or if you get your timing right, you can put your application out right before rain like I did. I put my application out yesterday, and today it's been raining off and on, so Mother Nature's doing the work for me. Now, I know I'm probably gonna get questions on my sprayer. I'm not gonna go into the details on that. I might do that later on in the future, but here's the breakdown on that. That's a 12-gallon push sprayer, so if you remember, the math tells us we can do 2.5 gallons of water for every 16 ounces of 1801 GreenePunch per 1,000 square feet. And that's what I'm putting out for this application. I'm doing 16 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So 2.5 and 2.5, that's 5 gallons of water for every 32 ounces of concentrate that I'm putting in there. I can put in another 5 gallons and another 32 ounces, bringing my total water to 10 gallons and my total concentrate to about 64 ounces or a half gallon. So I've got 10 gallons of water, 64 ounces of 1801 GreenePunch concentrate in the 12-gallon push sprayer. I should have my 20:1 dilution rate, and all of that, the 10 gallons of water, 64 ounces, that will give me 4,000 square feet of coverage at a time. And it eliminates the need for me to drag a hose and my hose and sprayer all around the yard. The hose and sprayer is awesome if you've got like 7,000 square feet or below, but if you're going above 7,000 square feet, you got 20,000 square feet to deal with. Yeah, push sprayer. And it just absolutely figures that the minute I get done doing all the talking points, the rain has tapered off and it's actually nice out. So even got blue skies showing up in the background right there. Hold on, you can't see it. See that? Blue skies. Figures.
But check out what we're starting to get. Starting to get some thatch going on. I haven't been bagging my clippings because I'm trying to cause a thatch problem so that we can use some dethatch on this bad boy. But that will come in the summertime when it starts to get really hot, because heat helps dethatch do its job.
All right, so there we go. That's 1801 GreenePunch in a nutshell. What questions do you have? What I leave out? You know the routine. Leave those questions in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thumbs up if you like the video, share it out, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications when I upload new videos, all that good social media goodness. Keep on keeping on, my lawn care brothers and sisters from other misters, and I will catch you next time.